Super A-10 Warthog. How can an aircraft survive a barrage of fierce anti-aircraft attacks, combat the most heavily armored tanks in the world, and still make it back to base? It's not science fiction. The A-10 Warthog, the legendary machine that changed the face of modern warfare. But after 50 years of service, does it still have a place in a world dominated by drones and AI? The answer will make you think again and be just as surprising. Discover the secrets behind the miraculous survival of this airborne warrior. In the 1960s, as the world stood on the brink of nuclear war, American strategists realized that victory didn't lie solely in nuclear arsenals, but also in the ability to effectively support ground forces. The US Air Force needed a vehicle capable of confronting tanks and providing ground support in the dangerous battlefield. The competition between military contractors, most notably Northrop and Fairchild Republic, led to the birth of the YA-10A prototype. The A-10 was quickly chosen for its survivability and combat strength. During the Cold War, the role of the A-10 Warthog became increasingly important as the US Army faced a significant threat from the Soviet Union, particularly from their formidable armored forces. At this time, the Soviet military possessed an enormous tank force, and the US needed an effective weapon capable of destroying tanks from the air, especially in the context of warfare in Western Europe, where the threat of a Soviet invasion was ever present. The A-10 Warthog was developed with one main mission: close air support and tank destruction. In the 1970s, the Soviet Union possessed thousands of T-55, T-62, and T-72 tanks, combat machines designed to dominate European battlefields. The US military understood that in the event of war, NATO forces would face waves of Soviet tanks. The A-10 Warthog was designed to meet the need to destroy heavy tanks. Its anti-tank capabilities stem from several factors. The GAU-8 Avenger cannon, one of the most devastating tank-killing weapons the A-10 boasts, is the 30mm GAU-8 Avenger cannon. With a firing rate of nearly 4,000 rounds per minute, this cannon can easily penetrate the thick armor of Soviet tanks. Its long range and powerful impact made it the ideal weapon for taking out tanks from the air. Low flying capability. The A-10 was designed to fly very low, sometimes only a few dozen meters above the ground, helping it avoid enemy radar detection while also allowing it to strike moving ground targets with precision, including tanks and armored vehicles. This low-flying ability also made it a perfect aircraft for close support to infantry, something few planes at the time could achieve. Survivability in the harsh environment of warfare, particularly when facing powerful Soviet tanks and air defenses, the A-10 was designed to endure heavy damage while continuing to operate. With titanium armor protecting the cockpit, self-sealing fuel systems, and a unique engine layout, the A-10 could return to base even after being hit multiple times. Supplementary weapons. Beyond the GAU-8, the A-10 can carry a GM-65 Maverick anti-tank missiles, laser-guided bombs, and a variety of other weapons to destroy tanks and armored vehicles from a distance. In the event of a Soviet invasion of Europe, NATO forces would have faced a barrage of Soviet tanks and armored vehicles. In this scenario, the A-10 Warthog would have been deployed to destroy tanks, support infantry, and slow the enemy's advance. The A-10's tactics were to fly low, using its GAU-8 cannon to directly engage tank columns while avoiding ground-based air defense systems. The A-10 Warthog was considered the ultimate weapon to face the Soviet tank threat in conventional warfare scenarios in Europe. However, full-scale war between NATO and the Soviet Union never occurred, meaning the A-10 didn't participate in a large-scale conflict in Europe as initially predicted. Nonetheless, the development and deployment of the A-10 reflected NATO's concern about confronting the massive Soviet tank force. Although the Cold War ended without direct confrontation between NATO and the Soviet Union, the A-10 Warthog continued to prove its worth in other conflicts. A prime example is the Gulf War in 1991, where the A-10 destroyed numerous tanks and armored vehicles of the Iraqi army, a force that used Soviet-made tanks such as the T-55 and T-72. This success further solidified the irreplaceable role of the A-10 on the battlefield, particularly in campaigns against mechanized forces. With its robust structure and survivability, the aircraft is often referred to as the Immortal, with its body protected by a 38mm titanium armor, shielding the pilot in the most dangerous situations. Two engines positioned at the rear. This engine placement not only helps avoid infrared missiles, but also ensures the aircraft can operate on the most makeshift runways. Durability and self-repairing capability. The A-10's ability to keep flying after sustaining serious damage on the battlefield, as seen in the case of pilot Kim Campbell during the 2003 Iraq War, where the plane was heavily damaged but still returned safely to base. After being hit, Kim Campbell's A-10 lost several crucial components. Hydraulic systems, which control the wings and flight control surfaces, were completely destroyed. The tail and wings were riddled with large holes due to anti-aircraft fire. Other critical systems were also severely damaged, making the plane almost impossible to fly normally. In such an extremely dangerous situation, other planes may not have been able to return or could have crashed immediately. However, the A-10 is equipped with a manual backup control system, allowing the pilot to continue controlling the aircraft in the event of hydraulic failure. Kim Campbell's calm and exceptional adaptability. Despite facing an emergency situation, Kim Campbell remained calm and activated the manual control system. With her outstanding skills and composure, she used this backup system to continue flying the plane. Though the aircraft lost precise control and was extremely difficult to maneuver, she managed to adjust the flight path and safely return to base. The plane had to fly over 100 kilometers under extremely difficult conditions, with most critical systems no longer functioning. Thanks to the A-10's damage tolerance and the pilot's skills, the Warthog landed safely at Al Jaber Air Base in Kuwait. This event not only highlights Campbell's skills, but also demonstrates the A-10's unique design features that give it exceptional survivability in harsh environments. Titanium armored cockpit. This vital layer of protection ensures the pilot's safety even if the plane is directly attacked. The armor can withstand small arms fire and explosive shrapnel from the ground. Backup control system. As seen in Campbell's case, the manual control system allows the A-10 to continue functioning when the main hydraulic systems are no longer operational. This is a rare feature in other aircraft. Special engine design. The A-10's engines are mounted on the upper tail, away from the aircraft's other critical components. This placement helps protect the engines from direct fire from below, reducing the risk of damage in combat. Kim Campbell's story and the A-10's performance during the 2003 Iraq War is a vivid testament to the A-10's superior survivability, as well as the resilience of the pilots who fly it. Even when severely damaged, the plane can still return to base, continuing to prove its invaluable role on the modern battlefield. Not only in Campbell's case, but many other pilots in conflicts worldwide have also survived and returned safely with the A-10 despite heavy damage to their aircraft. Thanks to its outstanding design for damage resistance and pilot protection, the A-10 continues to be in service today, more than 40 years after its creation. The terrifying power of the 30mm cannon mounted on the aircraft, with a firing rate of up to 3,900 rounds per minute and the ability to destroy tanks from a distance of up to 4,000 feet. With such a high rate of fire, rounds rain down like a storm. Although it's a bit costly, its firepower is undeniably fearsome. The GAU-8 cannon is the heart of the A-10. The aircraft was designed around this cannon. It's one of the most formidable weapons ever mounted on a military aircraft. With incredibly powerful firepower and a rapid rate of fire, this cannon is one of the most fearsome weapons of its time. Engine malfunction when firing. An interesting technical detail: whenever the GAU-8 fires, part of the A-10's engine must momentarily shut down to avoid being overwhelmed by the cannon's gas exhaust. It's a relatively minor issue, but still caused some trouble for pilots, though engineers later resolved this problem. Not just the GAU-8, the A-10 also carries a wide array of precision weapons, from laser-guided bombs to Maverick missiles, creating a comprehensive arsenal capable of destroying various battlefield targets. The combination of multiple weapons makes the A-10 a versatile combat machine, adaptable to any combat environment. With the ability to carry numerous weapons, the A-10 is multifunctional on the battlefield, able to handle multiple scenarios, never hesitating when encountering armored tanks. Major upgrades in the 2000s, improvements such as advanced navigation systems, all-weather operation capabilities, and particularly the pilot's helmet-mounted targeting system have helped the A-10 become more refined, eliminating technical errors and making it even more formidable on the battlefield. Its combat capability in the high-tech era, and whether the A-10 remains relevant as drones and AI dominate the battlefield. Although new technology is the future, the A-10 still holds significant strategic value, remaining indispensable in combat. In a world filled with new technology, with drones and AI taking the lead, will the A-10 still hold its place? We'll have to wait for the answer in the coming decades. If you found this video interesting, don't forget to hit the like button, share, and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss upcoming videos about the most powerful war machines of the US military. Leave your thoughts in the comments. What do you think about the future of the A-10 Warthog? Does it still have a place in the modern world? Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.